Alright, so to continue the review, I am Yudina Makalili and I will discuss to you the items number 101 until 125. Alright, so I will also give you a brief explanation as to why it is the correct answer for each item. Right, so for item number one, the child cannot distinguish abstracts during the sensory motor period of development. So which of these techniques should the teacher apply to accommodate learning? So the choices are A, to make individualized instructions, B, explain the lesson very well, C, to utilize concrete objects to clarify concepts, D, provide variety of educational toys from sensory motor 0 to 2 years old. Alright, so the correct answer for this item is letter C, to utilize concrete objects to clarify the concepts. So it is because during the sensory motor stage from 0 to 2 years old, the abstract thinking is not yet developed. So concrete, tangible learning materials help children understand concepts more effectively. So next item, let's proceed. So which of these systems of learning includes ways and methods which are used in preserving and building certain traditions within cultural communities? So we have here letter A, non-formal learning, B, multi-level learning, letter C, cultural learning, and letter D, indigenous learning. So what is the answer? Alright, so the answer here is letter D, indigenous learning. So why it is the correct answer? Indigenous learning is rooted in community practices and cultural traditions passed down through generations. So that is why it is considered as the ways and methods which are used in preserving and building certain traditions. So when we say non-formal learning that occurs outside the formal school system, it is organized and intentional, but often more flexible and community-based. For example, adult education programs, workshops, life skills training. That is an example of non-formal learning. So when we say multi-level learning, it is an approach where learners of different levels, such as ages, grades, or different abilities, learn together, often used in schools with limited resources or mixed-age classroom. So cultural learning, it is a general term for requiring the behaviors, values, and norms of a culture, usually through observation, interaction, and socialization. Now, for item number 103, which of the following statements is true in the use of experiments and demonstrations in teaching science? So we have here letter A, it is valuable if we use it in the context of lesson that relates observation to their information. So letter B, it should be encouraged in elementary school since the concepts they encompass are difficult for your children. Letter C, it is as valuable as teaching by lecturing. Letter D, it is less valuable than teaching through inquiry and discussion. So what do you think is the answer for this item? Alright, so we have here letter A. It is valuable if used in the context of lesson that relates observation to their information. So why it is the correct answer? The explanation behind that is that effective experiments are contextualized, connecting observations to broader scientific concepts for better comprehension. Next item, we have number 104. Identical twins are more alike than fraternal twins. So which of the following statements or principles supported this? Letter A, environment affects both fraternal and identical twins. Letter B, intelligence hinges in physical structure. Letter C, heredity has a part in determining intelligence. And letter D, intelligence is determined partly by prenatal nutrition, BCD about intelligence. So the correct answer here is letter C. The reason behind this is that Heredity is a part in determining intelligence, wherein identical twins are more alike than fraternal twins. It is because identical twins are the same genetic material, supporting the idea that heredity plays a role in intelligence. Next, we have number 105 question. Which of these philosophers is reflective of that of Dewey's, which stresses the development of an individual capable of reflective thinking, specifically that of being able to solve the problem they faces individually or collectively? We have here letter A, disciplinarianism, letter B, developmentalism, letter C, experimentalism, and letter D, rationalism. So what do you think is the answer for this item? Alright, so we have here letter B, developmentalism. So the highlight here it stresses the development from the word development of an individual capable of reflective thinking. So when you say developmentalism, it focuses on the personal growth and problem solving, aligning Dewey's emphasis on reflective thinking. So why is the other choices not the correct answer? It is for the reason that when we say disciplinarianism, it focuses on the strict control, obedience, and enforcement of rules rather than reflective or problem-solving thinking. So when we say developmentalism, well, it values the natural stages of child growth, like Ruzu, Jean-Jacques Rousseau. It does not fully capture Dewey's emphasis on experience and experimentation. We have letter D, the rationalism. It emphasizes knowledge through reason and logic alone, through logic alone. So not learning through experience or real-world problem solving as Lewis advocated. Alright, for the next item we have here 106. Which of the following abilities stresses by humanistic education? So we have here letter A, learn the different philosophies in education. Letter B, develop man into a thinking individual. Letter C, enjoy the great works of men such as classics. And letter D, make a man distinctly civilized, educated, and refined. So let us find out what's the correct answer behind this question. We have letter D, make a man distinctly civilized, educated, and refined. This is because humanistic education emphasizes developing a well-rounded, cultured, and reflective individual. Next, we have 107. An appreciation lesson is one that is designed to lead the class to conduct and enjoy something. Which of the following statements closely approximate the meaning of the above? Alright, so we have letter A, an appreciation lesson should be a lesson in values. Letter B, appreciation lessons help people to weigh and clarify values. Letter C, one cannot fully appreciate what one does not understand or enjoy. Letter D, a teacher should plan lessons that will guide children to appreciate what is beautiful. So the correct answer for this item is letter D. A teacher should plan lessons that will guide children to appreciate what is really beautiful or what is beautiful. It is for the reason that appreciation lessons aim to nurture sensitivity to beauty and values through meaningful experiences, as highlighted. Appreciation lesson designed to lead the class to conduct and enjoy something. Next, we have which of the following is the best for a teacher to set up routine activities that will contribute to the effective classroom management? So we have here letter A, as soon as the students have established. Letter B, daily at the start of the session. Letter C, during his homeroom days. Or letter D, on the very first day of the school or of school. So what is the correct answer for this item? Alright, we have here letter B on the very first day of school. So why is that so? So the best time for a teacher to set up a routine activities is that first day of school is because it is establishing routines from day one, since day one helps to create structure and expectations for a student's behavior. Next, we have in a large classes where little of the work can be individualized, the most effective and practical ways to individualize instruction is to A. Devise a group activities which afford every pupil's opportunity to work at his own. Letter B. Give the pupils freedom to launch individual projects. Letter C. Assign homework and check it regularly. And letter D. Assign program material for out of class hours. So the correct answer for this item is letter A. Devise a group activities which afford every pupil's opportunity to work at his own. Why is this so? It is because group activities allow for differentiated group roles and plays, supporting individualized learning within a group setting. Next, we have 110. Which of these is the most important principle that a teacher should follow in initiating a program of positive reinforcement? We have here letter A. Make sure that the reward comes immediately after the appropriate behavior. Letter B. Punish negative behavior and reward positive behavior. Letter C. Provide regular opportunity for socially acceptable behavior. And letter D. Consider peer approval and recognition. So what do you think is the correct answer for this item? Alright, so we have letter A. It is to make sure that the reward comes immediately after the appropriate behavior. It is for the reason that immediate reinforcement strengthens the association between behavior and reward, increasing the likelihood of repetition. So the tendency the child will tend to do more good behavior because he or she knows that there's a reward since you give the child immediate response to his or her behavior. Next, we have the trend of focusing attention on child's interests, abilities, and needs, and in the improvement of community living necessitate the use of the A. Discovery approach, B. Conceptual technique, C. Integrative approach, and letter D. Project method. So the correct answer here is letter B, or the project method, which is it focuses on the child's interests, abilities, and needs. Wherein the learners, the project method is actually a learner-centered and it integrates real-life tasks, promoting students' engagement and social relevance. Next, we have the best way the teacher can be sure of the appropriateness of the instructional materials is to A. Consider its technical quality. Letter B. Try it out before using it in class. Letter C. Consider its availability. Letter D. Consider its cost. So the correct answer here is to try it out before using it in class, which is letter B. It is because pilot testing or testing it or trying it before using in class helps the teacher determine the material's effectiveness and suitability for the class. Next, we have 113. Task analysis involves the breaking down of a learning task into subtasks or sub-skills. Given a task to retell a story, which of the following skills is not needed? Letter A, to disseminate information. Letter B, to outline a selection. Letter C, to identify topic sentence. Letter D, to arrange events in sequence. What is the correct answer for this item? We have A. So the following skills, the following skill that is not needed is to disseminate information. It is because disseminating information involves spreading or broadcasting which is not required sub-skill in storytelling. Let's proceed to 114. You are assigned to teach students with varied abilities. You want to teach a more homogeneous grouping. So which type of grouping will tend to benefit your students? Okay, so we have here mixed ability grouping, B, low ability grouping, C, within class ability grouping, letter D, high ability grouping. The answer here is within class ability grouping. So highlighted here is the varied abilities, teaching more homogeneous grouping. So letter C, within class ability grouping, because this allows the teacher to tailor instruction to smaller groups with similar learning needs while maintaining class cohesion. Next, 115. Which of the following examples illustrate the use of questions to focus pupil attention on the key points of the lesson? So first we have question in letter A. Why are machine-made goods cheaper than those made by hand? Letter B. What is Rizal Park known for? Letter C. Have you ever enjoyed watching the clouds on a bright day? Letter D. Who came what I was writing on the blackboard? Let us find out the correct answer here. Okay, letter A. So why are machine-made goods cheaper than those made by hand? So this question actually directs attention to economic concepts, encouraging analytical thinking about production methods. 116, the question is, the situation we have here is actually, the new teacher entered a noisy classroom. She shouted immediately at the students desperately trying to get order and discipline. Since then, the teacher has not controlled the class. So which is the most probable cause of the teacher's failure? Okay, so we have here, the student's reaction to the teacher is consequences of her behavior. The answer G.
Let's go.
Alright, so for item number 116, we have here the situation. The new teacher entered a noisy classroom. She shouted immediately at the students, desperately trying to get order and discipline. Since then, the teacher has not controlled the class. So which is the probable cause of the teacher's failure? So we have here, letter A. The student's reaction to the teacher is the consequences of her behavior. Letter B. Rules are not defined and procedures to sustain order is not in place. Letter C. The new teacher wants to show the class who is the authority. Or letter B. The class wants to test ability and patience of the teacher. So the correct answer here is letter B. As highlighted, this is a noisy classroom. She shouted immediately. So since then, the teacher has not controlled the class. So what happened? Maybe because the answer here is the rules are not actually defined and procedures to sustain order is not into place. Establishing clear rules and procedures from the start is the key to effective classroom management. For numbers 117, the educational implementation of research findings relative to the ability of dull learners and bright learners to organize and generalize is for the teacher. A. To make the bright learners guide the dull ones in learning to generalize. Letter B. To make the bright learners to generalize the dull ones to memorize. Letter C. To make the dull learners to more concrete experiences to serve as basis for generalizing. Letter D. To give both the dull and bright learners concrete and abstract experiences to serve as basis for generalizing. So let us find out the answer here. We have letter D, to give both the dull and bright learners concrete and abstract experiences to serve as basis for generalizing. It is because both groups, from bright and dull learners, benefit from a mix of concrete and abstract experiences to support meaningful generalization. We have here number 118. Which of the following will you do first? Establish good class management. We have here letter A. Discuss the required rules for proper class behavior. Letter B. Discuss the work plan for the year. Letter C. Prepare a C plan. Letter D. Train the class in the distribution of materials. So what do you think is the answer? We have here A. Discuss the required rules for proper class behavior. Why is that so? It is because setting expectations at the very beginning ensures clarity and consistency in the behavior management. Let's proceed to 119. A student was diagnosed to have a high IQ but is failing in his academic subject. So what should the teacher do to help him? A. Talk to his parents. B. Examine his study habits. C. Talk to students and find out his problem. Letter B. Refer him to the guidance counselor. Alright, so letter C is the correct answer. You need to talk to the students and find out his answer. This for the reason that first he is diagnosed or find out that he is have a high IQ. But for the reason he is failing his academic subject. So you need to talk to the students and find out what is his problem or what is happening. You need the understanding, or meaning understanding is the root cause of poor performance is essential to providing the right intervention. Number 120, we have here window. Alright, so we have here 120. When do tests and tutors and career information become effective for counseling service? When do tests and tutors and Alright, so let's proceed to 120. When do tests and tutors and career information become effective for counseling service? A. When the data generated is interpreted on time by a professionally competent person. B. The psychological test results are still valid and reliable. C. When the records are updated. Letter D. When the records are kept for ready reference when needed. The correct answer here is letter A. When the data generated is interpreted on time by a professionally competent person. This because effective interpretation by qualified personnel ensures that the data are useful for guidance and decision making. For items number 122, which of the following is a major advantage in using arithmetic mean? A. It is more commonly used than other measures. B. It discriminates between the lowest and the highest. Letter C. It is simple to compute. Letter D, it is more unstable than the median. Okay, what is the correct answer for this item? We have here letter C. It is simple to compute. So, alright, so the following is a major advantage in using arithmetic mean. Letter C is the correct answer. It is because it is simple to compute. The arithmetic mean is widely used because it is easy to calculate and understand. Now for item 123, in preparing a multiple choice test, how many options would be ideal? So we have here, okay, so for 123, in preparing a multiple choice test, how many options would be ideal? We have here letter A, 5, B, 3, C, any, or letter D, 4. The correct answer here is 4. 4 is commonly what we see in the different type of multiple choice test, right? Alright, so Another reason behind that is that four options strike a balance between item quality and chance of guessing. Okay, so for 124, learners often find it much easier to fit into a new social situation when given encouragement and support. So how can this be done? Letter A, by giving him room or responsibility. Letter B, by assigning peers or bodies to him. Letter C, by giving him special help. Letter D, by discovering his new interests. So what do you think is the answer? Alright, we have here letter D, by assigning peers or bodies to him. So we all know that the learners often find it much easier to fit into a new social situation. So how would you give encouragement and support? So you need to assign peers or bodies to him. So peer support eases and adjustment process by providing social and emotional tactics. Okay, for 125, we have here, who expounded on the need to study the child carefully for individualized instruction. So we have here letter A, De Feltre, letter B, Erasmus, letter C, Boccaccio, or letter D, Ascham. So the answer here is letter A, De Feltre. This is for the reason that the Feltre emphasized the importance of understanding the child to tailor instruction effectively. Erasmus is not the correct answer. It is because he advocated for classical education but did not emphasize individualized instruction the way the Feltre did. Letter C, Boccaccio is known for his literary works such as the Decameron, not educational philosophy or child-centered pedagogy. And letter D, Ascham, an English scholar who emphasized or wrote learning and discipline rather than child-centered or individualized approaches.